ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Weeds Poetry Open Mic here at the Hideout. Keep back and relax. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be another crazy evening. We have poets from all over the world, ladies and gentlemen, this evening, of course. And then you out there checking us out in YouTube. Hello, how are you? I'd like to say a big shout out to all my friends in Europe and all my friends in Russia. By the way, Singapore shut down today because of some silly ass, meeting with some, clowns. So we're going to skip Singapore tonight. Hello. How's everybody out here, ladies and gentlemen?
Yeah.
I want to hear it out there. Hello. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Again, this evening, I was inspired last week by my fantastic reading from the book of Josh. Ladies and gentlemen, I have two more readings from the book of Josh, not my president.
No, just get some singles.
The holy book. Okay,
Excuse me,
I'll be back
gentlemen.
with that.
Can you guys conduct business like tomorrow?
Huh?
Let me use it to read from tonight and then.
Sure.
Excuse me, we're having our.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna get 10% of that shit you're selling. I'm selling my book, not my president. The book of Josh, ladies and gentlemen, is available in Amazon. Now, last week, I thought that Amazon was huge women in Brazil, but I found out that no, it is an actual sell-all. In Amazon, you can buy anything, man. But you can buy.
Can't buy a woman from Brazil.
Honestly, you can buy a woman.
No, you can fly there a lot cheaper, and they're really for sale.
If you got the idea that you can buy a woman from Brazil who's in Amazon, that's not true. Plus, I'm not into human trafficking.
Yeah.
No human
Very
trafficking.
woke, Chief.
Only poetry trafficking I'm all about, ladies and gentlemen. I'm all about the word. Oh, and by the way, my special guest showed up, Eric Sorota.
Hey.
He's been traveling. He's out the bar getting a drink.
Hey.
Eric is here.
He's here.
It's been years.
Well, yeah. He was down in Champaign-Urbana doing his pro bono legal work. In other words, he's a lawyer, my lawyer, but he wasn't getting paid much. What can I say?
He kept you out of jail.
He kept me out of jail. Yeah, that's correct, ladies and gentlemen. So, I'm gonna before I read from the book of Josh, not my president, I have to take bring out the holy water. And because we have to cleanse our palate before we read from this book that you can get at Amazon for about $15 plus
Shipping and handling.
Unless you have Prime, then it's free.
If you have Prime, it's free. See, I got my producer over here telling me what to do. I got
You order it tonight.
Oh my God.
You order it tonight. It's in your hands on Wednesday afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
I should.
Of course. So let's give a nice warm hand to my producer, Chuck Kramer.
Yeah, Kramer.
My very nice round hand. And my filmmaker, Mr. Doug, Two Pistol Power, ladies and gentlemen.
It's a pistol.
So let me raise my glass to all of you here at the Hideout, our Hideout there, and to those of you in YouTube land. Salute.
Salud.
Lauren, I left the ticket for you.
Oh, thank you very much.
A beer, So let me find first poem I'm going to read from here that is delicately divided by this 100 million year old parchment paper so that it doesn't screw up the pages, It's a very special paper, soft to the touch. You know what I'm talking about. This first one is titled, and it is by David Rum. It's going to be a hell of a name to pronounce. Romtvedt. Rumvet. David Rumvet, ladies and gentlemen, who is a poet musician. And he wrote this: hearing the president speak, new snow falling and old, masking the smell of the earth. Sunlight silver across the cornice and ridgeline, rising towards becoming nearly cloud. A chickadee in the spruce calling, moves at the window waiting, wood cutting, the blade churning, sawdust settling and snow smoldering. Wind from the north making the flags leap from the poles, the edges tearing. Winter is hard to remember summer or spring, burning the ditches. Even here in Wyoming, far from policy, there is fear. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That is nice one hand, please. It's David. And then I have one more from this book. Again, available to you at Amazon. Amazon, by the way, is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Capitalism.
You don't have to deal with pesky operators. You just go right under it, and you're done. Ooh, another interesting name. Beate, oh my goodness, Secret Daughter is a popular red of Silver City, New Mexico. And it goes like this. Holding my husband tight this morning, giving and receiving reassurance. We do not speak. We know who we are. We know what we feel. In silence, I wonder, is this how my parents felt in 1933 when Hitler had bullied his way into power with a promise, among others, to make Germany great again? Did they hold each other like this, full of terrible unease, trying for comfort? We are only two small people doing our best. We cannot stem this tide. Everything will be all right. It wasn't. Though much, much later, it was here again. I love you, world, even as you are spinning out of control. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Beate Secret Daughter. How do I make it around, ladies and gentlemen? And as I take another sip from the holy water so that I can cleanse my palate now that I've read those wonderful words, I'll bring out one of my own.
Yeah.
Right out of this piece of paper that I ordered in yesterday. And by the way, Ellen, you're gonna follow me, okay? It's titled, I Take 5. Cold coffee in a mellow tone, quiet night of quiet stars. On Sunday, I take 5. At home, Cantaloupe Island, Rosita and little Louie in cool green and gold. Dream of a maiden voyage, but don't know where and when. Black coffee, softly as in a morning sunrise. Come Saturday, a rainy day. Isadora and Neptune are misty at the Puerto Rico in Castle Rock. How deep is the ocean for smooth sailing exodus in a sentimental mood? Strong coffee, a strange meadowlark, flamenco dances, a blue holiday. Save your love for me in your little black book. Dedicated to you, Gypsy Blue, deep in a dream, moonlight serenade, cool cruising in a blue train, search for peace in a San Juan street. Thank you. Open mic here in our hideout, ladies and gentlemen. One more Monday, we're streaming live all the way from here to there. I'd like to bring up our next poet. Ladies and gentlemen, he has been selling his hot book, ladies and gentlemen. I cannot believe it that for $33, I can't even sell mine for $7. You know, well, only because I don't have one, but that's another story. 33 bucks, ladies and gentlemen. You can get it in Amazon too.
Yeah.
You can get his book at Amazon as well, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give it up for Ellen McGarrett. And bring it to the mic right here and now. We have poets who have been published from around. I mean, I was published once in Canada, but I don't know if anybody read it. Come on.
Oh, there's a tariff on that.
I know there's a tariff on there now. Give it up.
Yeah.
3 billion%.
Well, I have copies of it. If you buy it from me, you save 99 cents. From Amazon, it's $33.99, so you get it cheap from me.
Good deals.
I just did.
Yep. Vince here has bought this last copy of my book. Moon is love. As the moon appears from under a cloud, our evening orb then shines so proud. Thus loving you, I soon nibble your ear on a black night that arrives truly clear. As under the moon we remain to meet, your lips are cherished, so ripe and sweet. They cling to mine so cool and wet. You are my love, so dear my pet. The stars soon come out to play. The nightly ball is here to stay. I bless the night more than the day. My heart is a sponge, not made of clay. My love for you is always never true. I'm ready to give all of my life to you. Your skin quite bright, white against the moonlight, glistens bright with love's rich dew tonight. You are so radiant with your passion. My love for you is this night's fashion. I long for your tender, warm embrace. The moon's rays are light upon your open face. Kiss me as many are the stars that bloom. You make me swoon before the moon. I can't believe that it's already June. We're once was loved under the moon. The nightly part of the day is now ours. Under the moonlight and the stars. We own the night in all its parts. We know the love that is in our hearts.
That's a real.
And this is pure prosody in the realm of my beloved. In the realm of my beloved, I live beyond all terror or pain. I see my life anew from on high. His arms enfold all that I am. We're now one in mind and spirit. Our world is an unbounded whole. The material world is presently distant. I find myself apart from it, yet within. I have all that I need within me. My possessions no longer possess me. My love can be shared with all. I see my Creator's love in all creatures. Through my own dark night of the soul, I experience signs of my beloved's peace. It is a balm that calms my fear of death. Peace overcomes the challenge of change. Before I lie down for my needed rest, I seek through closed eyes that dark night. All of life's activities do cease. Images come from within my consciousness. Bubbles of light and bliss come from deep within. They tickle me to sweet laughter. I feel the warmth of his love. As I lie down ready for sleep, I feel encircled by a world of nurture. My mother is at home in my heart. She is alive, not actually dead to me. Those loved ones since past now surround me with their love. Their smiles shed new light on me. I'm bathed awash in this light. I bring this light to my world without. Every last thing shines in brilliance. Joy fills me up with all love. In makes everything in life sweet. Thank you.
I just wanted to make sure. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give it up one more time for Evan. He worked for 3.5 months to put down those words. My goodness. It's a feat. A feat. That's why he charges so much money for his quotes. I'm having a hard time hearing myself. You guys hear me all right? Yeah. I'm going deaf, man. 27 years old and I'm going deaf. Feeling bad.
You're 26.
What?
You're 26.
No, 27. I've turned 27. I don't want to make myself look any younger than I am. A poet, ladies and gentlemen, can be many things. We can talk about the flowers and the bees and the roses and the trees and stuff like that. We can talk about how shitty life is. I've been fucked over by life, man. My mother never held me right. My father spanked me twice. Well, we can learn about politics, about how we dislike or so much like this guy or that guy, that female or this female. We can talk about all kinds of things. Last week, our poet, she threw down about a neighborhood and her feelings about that neighborhood and how she felt lost in that neighborhood. And I was like, yeah, man, that's really cool, man. White girl talking about a Mexican neighborhood. Being gentrified, man. Put me to shame, that's for sure.
Straight from the front
I
lines.
haven't written shit about Pilsen, but she was like dead on it, man. She was dead on it, man. And so, by the year 2099, I will be writing a poem.
After you get gentrified out of Pilsen, then you'll have time to write.
I'm over in Pilsen. I can't afford it anymore. I lived there for 1 year and out the door I went, man.
We've actually been.
I think I was escorted out of the rear door, man. Thank you, Mr. Artist. We have other really good artists coming in. You ain't hip. I was not hip enough. No. I was really proud to listen to her poem and proud that someone who is not originally, but we're not originally from Pilsen either. Pilsen. They're Czech. They're from the Czech Republic. They were, or what used to be Czechoslovakia. Can't say Czechoslovakia.
Why not?
Because they split. It's Czech Republic and Slovakia Republic. And although they are identical, you put a Czech Republican and a Slovak Republican next to each other, and you can't tell the sense of pieces apart. But they don't like each other for some reason.
They can tell each other apart.
I'm not saying they look alike. I'm just saying, I can't tell them apart personally.
They're Jews and Arabs.
Exactly. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you a definitely excellent poet, Melissa Adams.
Yes.
Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to this Magical Monday. All right. So this is my first poem. It doesn't have a title. What wild woman wills the carved rock wheels? Brush stroke of dawn, spirits dwell. In the vibrant colors, console the storm clouds on our epic journeys home. Fraught with disillusionment, choked on the lies that once ruled my inner living world. The dagger drawn in dark, given as a gift, stabbed to awaken my slumber, my dormant truths, my home of self. She called me in the crux of dreams, an At the time, I knew nothing of these women, though it was in that dream she became my Virgil. Imprinted in my mind, felt in the body, the doors of truth turning. The ache of loss gave way. Outer comforts couldn't satiate. My hungry soul, pressured by torment, ghosts, I was lost. Lost from my heart, my soul, where had it gone? The only thing that kept me going was through abuse, death, betrayal, loss was art. I grieved that I had become a stranger in the mirror, hollow in my old life. With my mother's job, waiting tables, waiting. My father's eyes, asymmetrical features, clouded my face, inking me quickly. My past anger found in new corners of my eyes from his death, abandonment, neglect. I was living out life not of my own, but of what my parents had feared manifested in my flesh. It didn't happen overnight, but like the light of the moon taking to the waters of my soul, gentle rain, tumultuous gales, lightning, thunder. From the dark awakening, continuous lifelong learning, to fully commit deeper to all those times I wronged myself. I began to collect and reconnect all the constellated pieces of my soul, specks of stars in the starry night sky, glimmering diamonds connecting with the life strands, pictures of myths unfolding, my own archetypes collecting. My story is soul thread in this tapestry of humanity's mystery. This sacred weaving, a blanket, integration, of listening, creating, and connecting. The old ruins, with gaze, with blaze of gold, surrendered and held high, the sun's blaze illuminating, a fire forging a vessel from within, withstanding. And as above, so below, I'll keep walking.
Oh, yeah.
This is also an untitled poem. Find not what binds you, but the messages of what keeps you locked in the hunger-deprived thirst of cycles, the circles that chase to no end, the longing for something more when what you have is abundant. Not clear to the invisible scars that webs within around your clarity and destroy your truth. In the caves of illusions, the shadows crawl on the walls, the voices rattle and caw, lured into a fear and a need for comfort. The pain that ails you is the blade to seek. Not the needle, not heroin, not the needle, not heroin. You seek to mend, your way to heal only perpetuates sickness. The ills of the world's aches, though different facets, different faces, different names, the root is deep, and blossoms in poppies, scarlet red in tiny seeds, whisper medicine, but not of remedies, on your trip to death. Blurring your visions, the wish to be taken finally meets you. Your risk of life to awake again does not greet you. Your shell of a body scattered, the remnants of your living daughters, the crystal of life itself, not one you honored. May you find peace and learn and be in this crazy dream of life.
All right. I'm jealous when I listen to poetry like that. You know, it makes me just want to go home, sit in that little desk of mine, open that bottle of tequila, or three-finger shot, turn on candle and write. Get fucked up and write. Let the mind just be gargled with booze and attitude and atmosphere. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. But the next point, ladies and gentlemen, I'm also jealous of that son of a gun. I think I'm jealous of most of you guys who come to our poetry because you're so damn excellent. And I'm just so damn excellently to be. But that's another story. Jack is a person who tells you poetry just the way he sees it, the way he plays his word, also tells you where he comes from. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a nice warm hand and bring it to the microphone. Jack's in the house. Let's give it up. Let's give it down. Yes, sir.
How's everybody doing?
Woo, woo. Yep.
Oh.
That's been fantastic so far. It's gonna be hard to follow, but we'll give it a shot. I can't figure out how to full paper. So all right, this first one, it's a little obvious the inspiration for it, but I'm gonna go with it anyway. This is called Dinner at the Korean Barbecue. Remember little birdies, tweet, tweet, it's BYOB. So dust off an old label to wrap a cheap wine in a nostalgic vintage from a simpler time. En route to Korean barbecue, the bandwagon complains. On the fourth estate shows reason disdain, mocking Pinocchio's nose while it continuously grows to be the tent pole for the Johnny Reb circus and Russian doll show. In the parking lot echoes share exuberant bravos, demanding journos be happy. We live in interesting times, so certain the party out crow will never die.
All right. Yeah. Nicely done.
This next one, this is called Guiltless. Is this Jacob's ladder or a spiral stair? Either way, I'm on the road to nowhere. Heaven help me, I cannot lie. I've waited for rain to hide when I cry. Those tears not for me, but a land I cannot see. Following the drain, off to fortune-telling refrain. Dining in spring, first robin and rose, then vomiting blood to see what grows. A puddle patchwork of feathers and thorns, promising hints which seemingly forewarns. The sun never sets, ominous sign. Tomorrow's regrets remain next in line. Never passed on the way to bed, an insect buzzing inside a head. Uncertain, is this heaven or below circle 7? Ever treacherous in silence to fraud and violence. Never mind admission, zero absolution without contrition. So I weep in the storm, knowing guilt will not take form and light the way through judgment day.
All right.
And this last one, I just did this just for fun, because, you know, it's something you can't be serious all the time.
Very well done.
I tried, it was very boring. It made funerals so real. There's one time you can't be serious, it's at a funeral. This is called Honey Dives. Fangs out, ready to growl, hit the town on the prowl, laughing like a devil, ready to drunken revel on God's own throne, sure the divine isn't home. Home to poem and ready to kiss. Fuck so hard your kids will feel this. Nights alive. We won't survive, but let's see what thrives when we start to jive. A party for the archives. Skin on fire, sweat gasoline. Sure we'll die, but we'll light the scene. Ashes spread to infect the living. Happiness needs no forgiving. On a path of excess, what do we find? A bit out of mind, but feeling fine. Erase the line, pissing wine. Then grin for the camera, it judges blind. This night's alive, set to overdrive. Go get your knives, we'll rob the hives, do honey dives. Though some may scoff, we'll lick our sins off.
All right.
Yeah! Hey! Woo! That's
Very well done.
Lick our sins off. Yes, sir.
How often you're invited to a honey dive?
Take it off, baby.
Telling you. Bees are not going to like that kind of dive. I'm telling you. I think I might have mentioned this once before, but But I have a friend that likes to go to funerals and weddings. You know, he crashes the funerals and weddings. He gets all dressed up and all of that. You know, he figures out who's there and all of that. And I said, why do you do it? And he tells me, because I always find someone to comfort. That son of a bitch, you know, goes to weddings and funerals so he can pick up girls. I cannot believe that shit. You know, if I tried it, I would be ostracized by it. But anyway, that's another story. But I also want to say, ladies and gentlemen, let's give a nice warm hand for a good friend of the Hideout, you know, who's doing a pilgrimage. He's coming through, going back to New York. Let's give it up for our good friend Jesse. No. I'm just, you know, giving you kudos for Jesse for being here with us. Traveling the country on his way through Chi-Town, stops and to hang out with us for a bit, have a couple of beers, listen to a little poetry, then New York, ladies and gentlemen. But it's okay.
If you can make it there.
Yeah.
I was born there. You can make it anywhere.
Anywhere, thank you.
I was watching the Tonys a little bit in between the other shows that I was watching. Every time I was watching the regular show and went into a commercial, I went to the Tonys. And I said to myself, I'll never go to a fucking musical. It's one of the things that there's a lot of things that, you know, I have a bucket list of not to do. I'm not going to take a picture at the beach. No. I'm not going to go to a musical in Chi-Town or NYC. No. I'm not going to hang out at a bar downtown where I can drink 3 beers and go into debt. I'm not going to do that. So, and I have a lot of those things at my bucket list of not to do. But this evening, ladies and gentlemen, we do have someone who is going to do all those things and beyond. He's been traveling, he's been working, he's becoming this entity of words, funny and serious. He stepped off the train from Peru, South America, Central America, finds himself in Chi-Town, and then arrives and weeds open mic here at the Hideout and says, this is what I want to do. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Victor.
Yes, indeed. John Wayne.
Thank you. Don't forget to buy Alan's book for one easy payment of $33. It's better than 3 hard payments of $11.
Yeah.
And you know what's really hard payment? It's buying G's book. It was so bad they fucking kicked him out of the country. He's living in Canada. And actually, it was so bad that Canada didn't want him.
He's appearing live by a hologram.
Fucking Czechoslovakia. And that was so bad, they divided it into 2 nations. I told Doug I told him I'd do a little stand for it.
I liked it.
That's what you did.
Thank you, bud.
Alright, first poem is about something funnier. Suicide. Ruminations on the millionth step. On the beaten path, unearthing hidden paths, under crescent formations that transform terrain in absence. You call it clouds from heavenly stairs in like heavenly stars. I reside in the obsidian skies, so I guess this is goodbye. I was inspired by a hike, and then I was like, yo, what would happen if I just kept walking? I was like on a big cliff, you know. It was like one of those things, you know, and now I think it's important that we acknowledge all that. And at first I was a little upset that people were acknowledging it because of celebrities. But I think it's just good that people are acknowledging suicide, period. And it's a real problem. So
don't do it, Victor, don't do it.
I'm not going to take that millionth step. This next one, my last one, is called Take My Heart and We Go. And take my heart when you go. Don't forget to water it, or rose may grow. Water it with jazzy blue paint and walk it in the jungles. The sounds of macaws and vine swingers will make it sing with bravado. If this is not for you, then dig a hole. Cover it with fertile soil, plant it, leave it, it'll grow. I'll come in the night and grind my bones because I saw my mom crush eggshells when I was a boy. I'll spend the next few months thriving in the dirt. Smoldering cigarettes will pile into ash. I'll wash my acrid taste buds with catatonic slumbers as I wait for seeding stalks to bloom. And when I wake, I'll pick the fruit with 4 seasons, my heart will bloom. Sacks of crimson harden as scars begin to heal. It'll be there when you're gone. It'll be there when I wither. On second thought, fuck you. You don't deserve it, either. This poem is for the sinister heart eaters.
Yeah.
Encore!
He told me he had a poem and a half.
Good stuff, brother.
I guess that half didn't want to be read. I understand that. I understand that. I've written poems that when I'm even on stage right here, they look at me like, man, I don't want to be read. Crush them, throw them out to the audience. Screw you, man. I wrote you, I can. You know like your mother tells you, I gave you birth. I can take you out. My mother told me that once. And I said, are you fucking kidding me, man? I'm 40 years old. You can't take me out now, man. Shit. Ladies and gentlemen, every once in a while, there's a voice that just whispers in your ear and wants you to and you know right then and there that what they have in their heart, in their mind, in their spirit is bigger. I do this. So I can hear him pounding on the goddamn table, man. You pound on that table, man, I'm gonna throw your fucking ass out.
Again?
Hey, you and I have that kind of love affair. You fuck up with me, I will throw you out. I will let you read, then throw your ass out. That's the way it goes.
It does?
I'm interrupting, man.
He's got all your old poems.
Camilo is in the house. Hey, one of the Illinois, Chicago's, and the nation's great tattoo artists. Right here is a proof.
Hey.
Take a picture.
I don't know where the cameraman is.
Whispers in your ear, and you go, yeah, man, I'm right there. So let's give it up. That whisper, right here, right now. And all of you out there, put in your recording, machine so you can record her words. She's fantastic. Laura and Nelson, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Let's bring it to the microphone. Put it up, bring it down. Yeah. You never know when she'll be back.
Thank you. What an introduction. I have something to live up to now. So I'm actually a songwriter and came with my friend Melissa, and now I'm performing.
Yes.
All right. So usually I
the
play
right
the
call.
guitar. The only guitar I have is really out of tune. So I'm going to try this a cappella, and I just wrote this yesterday. So this is totally an experiment.
All right, we love study. Yeah.
Great.
Dude,
All right.
Fermi Labs over here.
What's that?
Fermi Labs over here. Running mad experiments.
Great.
Sorry. Don't worry about it. Yeah, or something like that.
Yeah, I know you, Doug. I got
He's Italian, he loves you.
Great.
Pistol.
I love people who love me.
What makes the world go round?
It does sometimes. Alright, anyways, so here's my song. Let's see. This is weird without a guitar. It seems so long ago and back when we were young, when dreams were easy, all the songs were still unsung. You said you'd fly with me out there among the stars. These nights I lie awake and wonder where you are. It seems so long ago, I hardly can recall. I wanted more, but that was long before my fall. And when there's no way out, you try the best you can. The nights I think of you, it's something I can't stand. There is a world out there. Oh shit. People say there is a world. Oh fuck. It can happen to you. People say there is a world. Shit. You know what? I'm just gonna forget the chorus and I'm just gonna do the verses.
Yeah.
That's gonna work, I think. I would take a life of crime if I could repay all the debts I owed the night they stole you far away. I would give most anything just if I could feel. In all of these illusions, you're the only thing that's real. The night they took me, something fell inside my heart. And it was, I tried to play the role of coward for a part. I take what I can get, no time for high ideals. It used to hurt at first, now I don't mind the way it feels. Now that I found you, won't you fly away with me? I only ever wanted you to live where you are free. We'll travel out somewhere beyond the spreading dark. No matter what you've seen can't sway the reasons of my heart. I alone have known you, know the light you hold inside. Do you really think your faith in me is justified? I could tell you stories of the ways it might have been. I'm still doing time for all these lies I'm living in. They told me that there's none to trust and none who stick around. They told me that the thing I'm seeking just cannot be found. I was so sure that you would come around once more. Out here on the ground, well, I just watched you out the door. There's one more. It's there somewhere. It's there somewhere. And I may think of you and wonder what's become. There's just no telling all the ways this world may run. I may be a gambling man or fight a rebel's cause. Tonight I fly alone out there among the stars.
That's how we do it here at Weeds Open Mic in the Hideout, ladies and gentlemen. We don't cower for nothing. Little trials and tribulations.
My
Look what
God.
she just wrote it yesterday.
I feel like I went through something.
Yes.
On the other side.
And,
You went there with me,
and we're right with you all the way through. You know what? Next time, bring your guitar.
I will.
Make sure it's tuned.
I will. That one I literally got in the mail 2 hours ago. So it's not ready for anything.
Oh, you got one of them Chinese Chinese guitars?
I got it off of Amazon. No, I'm kidding.
Get it from Amazon. But you know, maybe it's from Korea, North Korea. Another word, you know, kissing, you know, kissy face with Kim Jong-un.
No, it's not one of those.
Isn't it Kim Jong-un? Or was that the last dictator who's ass kissing what we're doing? I cannot believe the fucking 45 is meeting in Singapore and drinking Singapore slings with a goddamn dictator whose human rights are atrocious. Atrocious. And yet, he steps all over Cuba. It's just mind-blowing for me. Mind-blowing. I mean, Cuba hasn't done shit in years since a goddamn, you know, nuke crisis. But he's over there sucking, well. let not my politics get in the way of, you know, this evening of poetic verbiage, ladies and gentlemen. But let me bring him to the microphone next, ladies and gentlemen. He is, he's the one that came up with the whole idea. Well, I'm giving him the idea anyways. It was me, but I'm giving him credit for it. So that we can start streaming, you know, throughout the world via YouTube. We're doing Facebook and YouTube. We're experimenting. Maybe we'll go back to YouTube and Facebook again. We don't know. No, this is an experimental, experiential experience, ladies and gentlemen. So, let me bring up the microphone. He's one of our co-hosts. I hate to say co-host, but he's one of the hosts of our Monday nights. An excellent poet. He is a millennial. So he writes shit that I don't understand, but maybe you will. Doug, Two Pistol Power, put it together. Everybody right. Yes, sir.
Oh, it's the God's truth. Gregorio never tells a lie, and he didn't start tonight. I am a millennial, in fact. My favorite new millennial joke. What would you do to me here? What would you leave me with? I need this a little higher. Oh, I can't work this one. Thank you.
Fucking initials.
Millennials. I know, right? There you are. I'm being entitled breed. Thank you. It's perfect, G. Thank you.
It's all about them all the time.
My favorite millennial joke I heard recently was from a clip from Family Guy I saw on YouTube. It was about somebody was introducing somebody else to Coachella, and they were like, "Yeah, this new band, Tame Impala. You should check them out. They formed in an Uber pool on the way over here." I think that pretty much covers it. RE gentrification, which was discussed earlier. I have an unfortunate announcement. We have been gentrified out of this space. The Hideout is replacing us with a creative nonfiction storytelling series. And you have to sign up 6 months in advance if you want to read. And we will, I mean, you can like apply, but we will check to see how many Twitter and Instagram followers you have before approving you to read here. Why would a writer need an Instagram? I can't exactly say, but you better fucking get one. It's 2018. You got one. Be like Alan McNair. Stop fucking around. Take pictures of your poems and post them, I guess. I don't know what the fuck people are doing anymore. This is just another... Alright. We're very focused and serious now. Alright. This is a piece called Just Another Leon, and I hope you enjoy it.
Do the preacher.
I noticed her almost immediately, once I was in the bar. She was sitting on a stool at one of the back tables. I went to the bar and ordered a drink. Whiskey, which is all I can stomach after the last upgrade. I looked over at her again, and this time she noticed me. I didn't look away, not immediately, and she scanned my irises for code. I didn't have to scan her. I knew what she was, but I knew she was either a nurse model or a pleasure model. They only really let them be two things. And I was guessing a nurse model, based on the brisk, clean lines of her face, and a general air of hopefulness in her expression and body language that I have never seen even a flash of in a pleasure model. Kicked around by their customers, torn apart and left in hotel rooms to be put back together by tired hotel managers, pleasure models usually had no more reason to be hopeful about life on a planet full of humans. She was definitely a nurse model, probably a Katie or a Stella. After she caught the tiny numbers on my irises, almost invisible to human eyes, she looked away. It was a while before she looked back, and I had to pretend to be focused on the drink and the handsome polished wood display case for the liquor, so I would be safe to look at it again. I think she was a little puzzled by me, because she didn't recognize what line I was. I'm just a basic Leon, of course, a basic construction model, but I had my features altered by an underground doctor when I was on to Zing. Now I can move on any world full of humans, and no human, unless they have real sharp manufacturer's eyes, and use them to look into mine, can see me for what I am. Other machines can spot me much quicker. All my servos lit up when I looked at her. She had a great way about her, that sharp face, and a great body. You could tell she drank a lot of saline solution. A glass of saline a day keeps synthetic cellular degeneration away. That's what they tell you. I thought she might look over again, and maybe I could go talk to her. But then she was rejoined by two human women from the bar. And they either didn't know she was a machine, or else she was a machine that they had allowed into their lives, and were rather impressed with. Whichever it was, she didn't look my way again. And I finished my drink and left. It had rained and stopped raining while I was in the bar, and I was walking the old concrete streets, past the old brick buildings, and there were pools of water in the street, lit up by street lamps. I imagined I was on Zenang, with its liquid orange streets, and for a moment I yearned to leave Earth. Then I shook off foolish thoughts, and then I was at the door of my building. I punched in the code for the residence, then the code for my apartment, and then the door unlocked and I let myself in. On the elevator I thought, why should a robot need to drink? And also, robot, that's a funny word. In my apartment, sitting at my desk, I plugged the charger cord into my left arm and started charging myself. As I was charging, I remembered a bit of conversation I'd heard at the bar. One man had said, "Did you know Columbus thought the world was pear-shaped?" And the other said, "Who's Columbus?" And I drifted off to sleep, head cradled in the crook of my right arm, and watching the little lights at the end of the charger cord light up. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And it was very soothing. And I fell asleep easily. And I dreamed I was looking out at a lake at night, a bit of land just visible in the distance, and I was standing on a beach looking at the lake. And the lake was trying to say something to me, but the lake was written in a language I couldn't understand. I dream of new languages all the time. That's just another Leon. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you. And I just got one more for you, and it's called Life on the Shore, and I hope you take it. I live on top of a tower, on a frozen island, in the surf of a cold black sea. I have many toys and 20 beds to comfort me, and the sun is always my friend. Here he comes again. I live on top of a tower, on a frozen island, in the swell of a cold black sea. Thank you for your lovely letter, asking what's become of me. Oh, but I cannot go back to your sweet town and your proud land. I cry to think of all those houses returned to sand. Tomorrow I'll have a party. The Indian prince will bring Havarti, and the duchess will bring by her favorite wine. I'll catch salmon all day and serve them smiling, the host, stinking of brine. Then I'll serve us limoncellos as our stories find their ends. I only ever wanted to be alone, and to have such clever, lovely friends. That's me, folks. Thank you.
Limoncellos, all right.
Indeed.
I can dig into a couple of limoncellos.
Yeah, it seems right.
Yeah, yes, sir. I can dig that. Talk about limoncellos. Come on in. Come on in.
The water's fine.
You know what? Rabies, we don't have anymore. We've been inoculated by rabies. We're cool now, you know. We don't bite. We just insult people.
Oh, I can do that.
Which you're going to do next, as a matter of fact, ladies and gentlemen. Now, Vince and I have had a love-hate relationship for the past 30 plus years.
You've never loved me.
He loves me and I hate him. And you're this right. You come on in. You're not interrupting. Are you Eric's friend?
Definitely not.
Not too late.
Oh, don't worry about it. You're not interrupting anything. The only thing you're interrupting is my intellectual chair that, the right wingers hate. So, it's okay. I don't know if you've noticed that everybody says the elite intellectual liberals. Well, I'm not really one of them because I only have a high school diploma, but I pretend to try to be one. Now, our feature, well, it's not a feature. My guest poet, Eric Sorota, who will be coming up a little bit later, is one of those intellects. We'll wait. I'll let you simmer, like I do my steaks. Vince, do not disappoint me and act like an ass, okay? And no, actually it's wrong. That's the wrong thing. Do not disappoint me. Please act like an ass. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to my good dear friend. Vince. Last time he was here, I did throw him out, but I'll wait till he reads, then I'll throw him out.
Again?
Listen, man, that's your stick. That's what makes you famous. That's why everybody knows you. They go, oh, Vince is next. Let's listen to his shit and then watch Gene throw his ass out. That's how we do it.
It's like Tom and Jerry.
Okay.
Good job.
Well, I had that last one here.
Oh, you do, huh?
Oh, yeah, it's here.
Okay. Do your poetry now. Let's not waste time.
Pick a number.
Oh, no, you
Gotta
got
go with the beautiful. You. Pick a number between 1 and 10.
This.
I think so. What is it?
Oh, it's always an intellect. See, goddamn liberals, they don't have a committee to think about how to do it.
7.
7.
He said beautiful, man.
About blank verse, I will be cursed. It is a curse, and all things worse. All history of poetry is plain to see to you, for me, the muse is rhyme and meter time. Lone paradigm of the sublime. The pillager and murderer of that mother, use the verse mother. She will not die or glorify or beautify that cruelest lie. You British men may have this yet. Her denizen all know this. I wrote that for the first National Poetry Month. All right. 23 years ago, delivered it at the Cultural Center of the city of Chicago, and watched the little rats scurry away. Creator of the word prosody, here I am. concerning prosody.
Okay, so let's take this to the next one.
Oh, so you have to have the announcement.
Number 9.
I've spent a lot of money trying to make this happen.
What happened?
VincentThePoet.com.
Go.
And the quandary that I'm debating is the 50 poems or so. I can't, after 3 I can't count. But, and they're all written at the bar.
Of course.
So that'll be the second volume. And it'll be Hideout in the Weeds.
All right.
I like it.
And it will be more than 30 bucks.
Well, it's a challenge, Alan. It's a challenge on you, man.
But maybe this guy will actually put that book, because his GoDaddy's got that for years. Okay. Pick a number.
5.
Just missed you.
Okay, read 4 and then wait.
No, I gotta get to 5. I will be a poet of good. Core values is the title of this one. I will be a poet of good. The one who shows the way it should. I'm gonna sing the simple song that stops evil and rights all. Just as one gives a grateful sigh when one comes to know the reasons why. The poet is the one who makes the logic in the form it takes. For in the rhyme and harmony, therein the song of destiny. Please know you can never hear truth told so true or plain or clear, for when it's told in meter rhyme, it transcends both person and time. For if one listens and one hears, note well this music of the spheres. Know this the highest form of man, striving to be all one can. As every creature has its songs, that most fulfills that which it longs. Know when we know our truth clearly, we rhyme and meter.
Right.
Rule number 2. You're not pretty. That's Nelson Mandela.
Woo!
Oh, we're at a pretty girl. Oh, yeah.
There's one.
What?
There's one.
Right. Oh,
We have,
your
three,
number.
we have 3 beautiful women here.
Well,
What are you looking at the guys for?
no, that's your job. Okay, your number.
What?
Out of
12.
No,
From 1 to 10.
4.
2.
See?
That's what Chuck said.
Oh, you dodged that bullet. Okay, 2.
I don't dodge no bullets, but I.
That is the Mandela.
Yes, I know.
Which we did. Remember that one?
Yes, yes.
You gotta come up here
No.
and do the little grip thing.
No, you go
No,
ahead.
no. That's the full Nelson grip thing.
No.
Oh, you missed out.
Full nuts.
Here's what he's talking about.
He wants to get put in a full Nelson.
What do they call? Okay, yeah. No, that's the half. No, that's not it.
Oh, shit, motherfucker.
That's a quarter Nelson. You gotta go with the whole hand.
Yeah, but if I get behind you, I might get a harder.
Okay.
poem, man. Do the poem.
Okay. I go with that one.
I thought you had them in order.
When do I have everything? Oh. When did I learn how to read?
We've been asking ourselves.
Well, the law was
You know, we got poets waiting, Vince. Okay, that's a problem, you know.
My name is Gregorio. I used to have a moneyed hat. Then there came the Cheshire Cat. Where Sergio used to be at. He's just another damn gringo. Hey, I'm a Mexican. Doing as little as I can. Spanish is not American. Beware of that jam.
Oh, man.
Poetry does make him tick. With that, he does prick. To him, I'm just another speck. Not like that damn gringo. Yeah, he is so much pretty, and all he gives me is his pity. Because I live in his city. I do not like that damn gringo. So I am a security guard. True poetry I so disregard. While he still loves the bard. He's just another damn gringo. In his America, I'm truly free to blather forth my prosody. That he does so often pee. White boy's a damn gringo. We've both been on radio and TV, and we have a history. He is less than nothing to me. What's another damn gringo? Oh my God. His art of me at weed sows my most desperate seeds. In poetry, he so succeeds. He really is a damn gringo. Hiding out here in this muck, I'm again so out of luck. Yet he doesn't give a goddamn. I really hate that damn gringo. Yes, he is the muse's pick, because he has the bigger dick. I'll always be the bigger prick. I really hate that damn gringo.
Mr. Vince.
What's his name? Vince is the house.
There you go.
I never realized you felt that way, bro.
Ah, you're my second love.
Oh, shit. What happened to the Nelson Mandela poem? He just threw that one right out the window, man, you know. But it's okay, ladies and gentlemen.
The real apartheid was in our hearts all along.
This is about the 30th poem that has been written about me. Nothing good about it anyway. But it's okay, ladies and gentlemen, because here in the Weeds Poetry Open Mic at the Hideout, there, don't tell anybody we're here, 3054 West Wilbanson, don't tell anybody we're here. we have our next poet. Now, is Lauren leading us?
I am. I have to work.
So does everybody in this goddamn room. What do you think? What do you think? That this is a job?
Maybe if you're lucky.
We gotta get up in the morning and do real things like work.
I know.
We live on the fringes of society.
Listen. I'll give you a written note. Tomorrow morning.
Hey, if you want to try, I won't stop you.
No, I'll give it to you. What do you work at, Lauren?
I work at a community health center in Berwyn.
Oh, nice.
It's a community health center. Everybody gets there late. I know the executive director, she never gets there before 10. I know who she is. I know exactly what you're talking about. How the social workers, they're out doing home visits.
That's what I do.
This is waking up, man. I know you guys. You're like, yeah, I'm clocking in. I'm doing a home visit with Mrs. Garcia. Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there by 10. Okay.
Shh, you can't tell my secrets.
What do you mean I can't tell you? I know we all know your secrets. I work at a health center. Shit.
It's true.
Listen, I've been there.
You've been to
Waiting for you to arrive for my, for me, you know, you were supposed to be my therapist.
Oh, shit.
Oh, your therapist is on her way. She said it was an 8 o'clock meeting. Yeah.
She was at a poetry
faulty
event the night
car.
before.
Oh, she was at a poetry reading with.
Yes, and it impaired her ability to work successfully the next day.
You know what? Most social workers are pretty much impaired. You know, they drink all night long, party and all that, and then they go to their health center because they can't deal with that crazy shit that they have to deal with. So, I mean, hey, I know exactly where you're at. Real life is a bitch in those places. Yeah, you know.
Isn't it most places?
Yeah, you know, the women with 10 children come in, they're all crying, snot's coming out of their nose.
I don't work with children.
Yeah. Oh, it's not a children's clinic?
Well, they are, but not for me. I don't work with children. I don't do that.
I dig you on that, man. I you know, me too. I never work with children.
14 and up. We're good.
Ooh, she said 14 and up shit. Yeah.
That's so not cool.
That's problematic. She needs to. She's gonna be your social worker if you're not careful.
Yeah, I know, man. I'm 14 and up.
Alright. I'm out. Bye.
Thank you. I hope, Lauren, I hope you come back and join us with your wonderful, angelic nightingale voice.
I will try.
Good set.
Thank you.
Yeah, and next time, you know, and tell them you're going to be at work late.
I'll try. I'll see what I can do.
Of course.
Hey man, she's a good social worker. She cured me of my addiction to building Japanese model robots.
I'm sure she'll cure you your addiction, all right.
Lowering the bar.
That was too far.
The bar is too low. I can't even step over it.
Hey, I apologize to all of you out there, man. I forgot that we're no longer there. And my producer saying, you know, cut this shit out. We're gonna be discontinued soon. Talk about my producer, ladies and gentlemen. He's a photographer. He's been documenting us for I don't know how many years. I forgot how many years. What? 307 years, ladies and gentlemen. He's not only a documentarian, he's a photo blogger, he's a journalist, he's an optimist, he's a novelist, he's a photographer, a lover, a scoundrel, and my friend. Ladies and gentlemen, let me bring to you to the microphone, Chuck Kramer!
Mr. Kramer! Kramer versus Kramer.
So, good evening, first of all. And I have to say that I've never been a big fan of rhyme. But one of the things about coming here is that you get to hear someone like Jack or Lauren use rhyme so well that I find myself going, wow, I wish I did that. And then you run into all kinds of strange vocabulary like limoncello. Isn't that a great word? I mean, it's just, it doesn't have to mean anything. It's just the sound of it. It's like saying cellar door. Beautiful sound. So, Jesse's from New York, so here's a New York poem. The Little Owl. The little owl on Bedford Street in the Village welcomes diners for breakfast on this chill, sunny morning. With a red velvet smile and the humid, rich fragrance of espresso and sausage and hollandaise sauce oozing over poached eggs. Across the street, hordes of tourists line the sidewalk with avid squints and excited flashing cameras. A wall of haunted faces packed tightly, overwhelmed by the brick facade of the Owl's building, which once appeared as the exterior of a sitcom's hip New York apartment. The yearning faces, scarved and gloved and hatted, stand wide-mouthed, hungry for connection with once-a-week fictional friends, nourishing fragile, famished identities with electronic memory. While inside the Owl, diners gorge on apple jelly and croissants, chattering with friends across the table as they smile and order more coffee.
Coffee is the word of the night.
It's true.
Great stuff. So Pride's coming up in a couple of weeks. This is Misconceptions. There are those who think I'm straight, hetero from the gate. That's not true between me and you. It's not my fate. Had a wife on my arm, she was quite the charm. Stopped the wagging tongues that said, be square. Oh dear, a smear. My sons were further proof of pure male roots and strong American ways. But they didn't turn my head from tranny girls dressed in red, or big bad bears with hair everywhere, or Twinkie boys with club teeth, or earth mothers pendulous with fleshy treats. The wife understood. She liked nookie too. And things were fine for a time, but they fell apart, and I gave my heart to a drag queen from the Philippines. Some call me gay, but it's just my way. A girl can be who she wants to be, with or without surgery. Yes, we live in a magic age, but I won't climb into their cage. Comb to breathe sanctified air and with neatly combed hair pretending fantasy is real. That ain't the deal. The deal is, I'm bi. That's how I fly. The view is great as I relate to all I meet, and taste the treats that come to us on the human bus, where love is the fare that takes us everywhere.
I love the fact that we can get in front of a microphone and we can tell the truth about ourselves. Personally, I like a motherfucker. You know, the less you know me, the better I feel. Because this way, I know that when I die and go to heaven, because of our next poet gave me all the inside tricks. He says, listen, man, sin and repent. Sin and repent. Sin and repent. And I'm like, yeah, man. You know, it sounds like a well-oiled machine. You know, I can get up on Sunday morning and go to church and then ask for forgiveness. Lord, I fucked up all week long. Please forgive me. And of course, my fellow confessor would say, 3 Hail Marys, 1 Rosary, 20 Our Fathers, and you have been absolved. This means that on Monday morning, I can start all over again. Ladies and gentlemen, I owe my sinful life to my father confessor. Give him a nice warm hand and bring him the microphone, the Reverend John
Swing low.
One more time.
Sweet chariot.
Once again, G, the fact that you, I assume a lapsed Catholic, think that you could come to a Protestant for your confession?
Well said.
You don't understand the teaching of either church. But that's okay.
See, I've been forgiven.
Eric was a little Jewish this time. So, crazy week on my block. Saturday night was, actually Saturday afternoon and Saturday evening was a baptism party for my Mexican neighbor's son and like a niece and nephew. I gotta ask, Gregorio, do all Mexicans know how to party like that?
Absolutely.
That was mind blowing. I mean, I had to work from 3 to 11, so I figured I wouldn't be able to make an appearance. But I got home around midnight. They were just getting started, I think. I mean, there was like tents, the whole yard was covered with tents, massive sound system, all these people dancing. And it wasn't just like young, hip people dancing. I mean, it was like grandma and grandpa dancing, you know? It was like dancing.
I took that round today.
Maybe so, I don't know.
There you
And,
go.
you know, what's bizarre though, what's bizarre is the gringo going in the gate and saying, looking around at everybody that's looking at me like, who are you? I'm like, is Willie around? Because Willie's my neighbor. And they were like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, I know over there. Willie invited me, so they're trying to get, so they take me to the back, and there's like the dance floor and the DJ, and they're like, Willie's over there. I'm like, I'm not sure I want to like walk through the room. But it was amazing. I'm the only one that anyone needed to speak English to the whole time.
I'm not here to bust the party up.
I mean,
I didn't bring a badge because I don't own one.
I mean,
They ask you for documents.
no, but I guess I should know how it might feel. You know, like I'm the only one. And then I'm on the way out. Like I told him like it's 1 o'clock. I gotta go because I get up in the morning. He's like, oh, but we're gonna be here until 6 or 7, you know. But it's like on the way out, I said, well, you should get some tacos first. So we go by the grill, and the guy's at the grill. He's like, oh, you want some tacos? How many do you want? I said, 2, because I had just eaten Chinese food before I left work. Two is fine, you know. They're gonna be good tacos. I mean, I know these people know food, especially tacos. So this guy starts making food, and my neighbor says something to him in Spanish, and the guy looks at me and says to make more than 2. So I get handed a plate with 4 tacos. I sit down and I start eating them, and while I'm eating 2, thinking I'll just take the other 2 home, I can eat them tomorrow. My neighbor gets up, he's like, I'm gonna make you some more to take home. I love my neighbor. But that was kind of the fun part of this week on my block. The real crazy part was the day before.
The shooting?
Yeah.
What?
It's like 8 o'clock in the morning, and I hear this pop, 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 pop crash. And the crash is unusual because there's the green line, and you know cars hit the pillars and trucks get stuck under it. But the pop, pop, pop was a little bit different. And I look out the window, didn't see anything, but then later when all the cop cars started pulling up, my wife pushed her out the front door, and 3 houses down, a car's on the sidewalk, ran into the fence, and a guy was shot and killed. And Yeah. So like, even today I was doing a little research trying to figure out what's going on, because like, is there other stuff gonna happen? And I don't know a lot. I just know I found out this guy's dad is like a youth counselor at Cook County and has youth programs, and it's just messed up. Yeah. So this is a poem about some of the messed up stuff that happens in life, and we just don't understand. Life is a quest through questions. Some with no answers, some with many answers, grounded in fact, belief, superstition, or wishful thinking. Was there ever a time when nothing existed? If there was, how did everything get here? If there wasn't, what has always been? I'm told the universe began with a big bang. What went bang? Where did that come from? What made it go bang? I'm told space is finite. If so, where is the boundary of space? Would it be possible to cross it? What would you find on the other side? I'm told time is also finite. If so, how long was the wait before time began? Will time end? If it ends, what comes next? Did order arise from chaos? Did life arise from non-life? Did reason arise from randomness? What is the origin of emotion? Where did love come from? I'm told God is the answer to all these questions. Doesn't that just raise new questions? Did God have a beginning? I'm told he didn't. Is an eternal God easier to believe in than an eternal universe? I can see the universe. What is God like? I'm told he is infinitely powerful and good. If God is infinitely powerful and good, why all the suffering in the world? It bothers me. Shouldn't it bother him? Why did my brother have to die at 45? Why was there a shooting on my block? Why? Why doesn't he do something about it? I'm told he did. That he embraced the worst suffering the world has to offer, took it upon himself, and that through his suffering, our suffering can end. That's an answer. But is it grounded in fact, belief, superstition, or just wishful thinking? That's the question. Isn't it? Thank you.
I know it's hard to applaud to a poem like that. Let's give it up nice and loud. I was a neighbor of John for almost 3.5 years, living on the west side of the hood. On the east side, things were changing, gentrifying, things were changing, but still rough. On the west side, from where we were at, we can hear the nightly pop, 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 or the drums they crash on the trains pilot, boom. We see them in the morning, you know, a car there in the middle of the street with cops still blocking the street. The one thing that when I was there that kept me and my landlord safe is that the guys next door to us were connected. I won't go any further than that in regards to being connected. You understand what I mean by they were connected. So me and my landlord and friends, and we're bikers, so we would park our motorcycles in the garage, the back, maybe 4 or 5, and they would see us with our vests. And the bros know that we were bikers, and they also knew that we had, you know, because they were police officers, you know, there were weapons in the house. So it was a truce that was kind of unwritten, you know, just like a mist, where the guys down by that cul-de-sac, the dope dealers, the gangbangers, they would know not to fuck with us over here because they knew, well, they fucked with us. There was a bigger gang that would come down on them. They all had blues on them. So we had a really good relationship. But pop was not unusual in front of Garfield Park or somewhere behind us, west of Hamlet. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, screw that. I want to bring up a poet who has been to himself. He's an ex-religious man. He's an ex-brother man. He's been there when you expected him not to be. His poetry is both religious with a twist of irony and politics. He has been missing from our mind for a long time, but I'm glad that he's back here this evening. Robert, John, put your hands together and bring it to the mic, ladies and gentlemen. Robert John. I know it's getting late, so get back, because our feature, our guest poet, will also blow our minds. Robert, thank you for being here.
My man. Y'all like the blues?
Woo! Hey. Yeah.
Tell that fine nosy neighbor who live up the street, if she keep on looking, I got something for her to see. Tell her look through the keyhole, baby, so she'll know who I am. Ooh wee. I am the blues. I am noble black misery, trapped on the inside of strings and keys, looking for someone who understands a blues man to set me free. I'm a long way from home, come from across the sea, traveling on a one-way ticket towards a thing called destiny. I'm a forgotten whisper in Alabama, Birmingham, hear me roar, while I move on up a little higher as my notes begin to soar. I was thunder and lightning in Mississippi, Negroes hanging like fruit from trees, juke joint drowning in moonshine, piano man banging out a weary melody. I'm that cold chill when BB makes Lucille squeal, trying to figure out how his thrill got gone. I was Sister Betty's scream and Coretta's dream that died on that balcony in Memphis, Tennessee. I am noble black misery, trapped on the inside of strings and keys. God, almighty God, won't you set me free?
All right.
This next piece, I guess it's about temptation. I've got Satan to my left and I've got Gabriel to my right, and they both be whispering in my ear. What Gabriel be saying becoming kind of fuzzy, but what Satan be saying becoming real clear. See, I'm torn. I'm torn between the sin of Saturday night and the song of Sunday morning, between righteousness and the lust of brown succulent flesh, moving languidly in the night, beckoning for me to come. To come and place my hands upon our mountains as they erupt, sending passion and desire flowing over the circumference of our being. To dig into the dry, fertile soil of our landscape and feel what the new world had wrought. To become twisted and entangled in the tantalizing terror of softness. Dance along me, dance, and explain to me, please explain to me what you would do with the head of a man. Faithless whore, temptress of the night, You promise nothing but death and destruction, fire and brimstone rising to a pinnacle, twisting and turning and burning and burning. So what will it be? Heaven's gates or hell's flames here, a righteous man's glory or horror shame. See, I've got Satan to my left and I've got Gabriel to my right, and they both be whispering in my ear what Gabriel be saying becoming kind of fuzzy, but what Satan be saying becoming in real clear. See that girl in the third pew? She looking at you. I bet you if you sneak in through the back door, you can get out before anybody knows. I'm haunted. I'm haunted by hellified hips and halter tops, open-toe sandals and daisy dukes, dutifully demonstrating a demonic desire for lustful liaisons with lips. Then she dips in capri pants that capriciously captivate my cranium, causing clandestine kisses and caresses to cultivate a simple seed in my spirit. Sweet Jesus, pluck out my eye. Better lose an eye than to burn. Cut off my arm. Better lose an arm than to face the judgment. See, I'm torn, I'm twisted, distorted, and I resorted to prayer. That's that piece.
Yeah.
And answer to the Reverend's question, how can God watch all of that bad stuff go on? Because it's just a test. And to God, it's just a blink of an eye. Peace.
All right. Actually, I thought you were a bit more forthcoming. In regards to, I want to answer the question of the Reverend's concern. God is a string being. According to Luis
That's pretty deep, Jimmy.
Rodriguez. Because he could speak English. He was asked, what is God? And he says, God is a string being because he could not speak English. Luis Rodriguez suffered for that, but we forgive him anyways. Because God is not a string being. He is an omnipresent mist in the middle of nowhere, fucking with our heads. God is a fucking jokester. He's a guy with powers beyond our concern. And when we're making love, it'll go zip. All of a sudden, our 20-minute goes to 1.5. Fuck. What do you say? Fuck, man. God damn, right? But that has nothing to do with our next poet, ladies and gentlemen.
Just a side note.
She's a surprise this evening. And I'm going to, she told me I've met her before and I have absolutely no recollection, but that has to do with my drinking. And I know she's an excellent poet. And then we're going to have Eric. And I know that it's kind of late and all of that, but Eric is going to throw down, as he has many times before. Where are you going, Victor?
Huh?
Where are you going?
Get some more booze.
What?
Get some more booze.
Okay, that's the reason you're going out of this room, otherwise I'm going to fuck you up.
Hey man, you see how he's back?
Yeah,
And as they playfully talk to each other, like lovers in heat, I hope I don't mispronounce your name, but she is definitely one of Chi-Town's excellent poets. And I'm glad she's here, and I hope you come and join us again. Moidisha? No.
That, you gave me extra syllables, so I feel like, you're giving me something to take home.
Okay, let's try one more time.
Moshta.
What?
Moshta.
Monster. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody learn from Monster.
A lot of time passed before yes if I had asked with that much time passed, there'd be no hope whatsoever. Cool. And I was born in the 80s, and so, theoretically my brain should work somehow, in some sort of useful fashion still.
Binary system kind of thing, yeah.
I know, man. So I'm doing a cool thing. I'm stressing myself all the way out to produce a festival called the National Poetry Slam. And I've got these really heavy cards that, it's just regular colored paper because we have an early bird deal for the National Poetry Slam's tickets. Only local people get to know about this, so y'all, that's not exactly true, but it's mostly true. It's like 80% true. Because we're not paying for those ads, basically, to happen online. But if you guys want to come to the National Poetry Slam, it's the 13th through 18th of August. Full festival, it's about 60-ish events on average per year. We're making the program now with all the submissions from the national scene, from local folks. There's going to be a lot of heavy hitters. 600 poets descend upon Chicago for the first time in a 5-year cycle. We are an anchor city now. We won the bid. So, so come be a part of that. If this year is super successful, then we hold on to that bid, and every 5 years we do come back. So I'll put these. I don't know where. I am also the founder of a very cool project called the Interfaith Poets. And so, because there's already been some faith in the room, and because I may be a little too irreverent for my own good, as a gift to 2 people in the room at least, I'm going to perform. I have a different poem that's kind of made me micro-famous called Blonde Jesus. That's fine, you can Google it. This, however, is called Jesus Christ Rap Star.
Yeah.
What if Jesus already returned, resurrected a rapper, gold chain, gold teeth, big grin, break beats, 6 swag, spits bars about the mean streets and redemption in Bethlehem? What if he is rising on the charts with a trap single, 90% of the lyrics, brothers keep up. Brothers keeper, I'd like to be my brother's keeper. What if he produces grime tracks on weekends, teaches Othello to elementary kids, professes Chance the Rapper will be lauded like Shakespeare in the New World Order? What if he's more sensual, singing in the ring, music video baptism, draped in all white, buttoned down, wide open so we can see his smooth, pink chest while he sings? You'll have salvation as long as you love me, baby. What if he's not good looking? Or behind on fashion trends? Like, maybe he's still into tribal tattoos, beepers, parachute pants. And those tank tops that are like cut from the man boob to the love handle, these existed. I remember them. I know I was born in the 80s, but I remember them. They were a problem. Okay. What if he was resurrected a believer? Yeah. Fan of Justin Bieber?
I believe.
Okay. It's not okay. It's not okay. Please say a prayer. A debt collection phone rep, a flight attendant, a Walmart greeter, an astronaut, a space shuttle pilot. I added this for students at some point. Just so you know, I show up in a spacesuit sometimes. Anyway, toll booth operator, or a WWE wrestler, only kayfabe in the ring, but the rest is true shoe. Yeah, wrestling fans. No, where's Nate?
Me.
Would we recognize him? What if he prefers to draft Gospels in Evernote because Google Drive never loads on his tablet without a strong Wi-Fi signal? even Jesus has to deal with utility companies redlining high-speed service, giving preference to rich white towns, which is super real now because the laws just changed in Comcast and do whatever the fuck they want.
Net neutrality.
Right. What if he stole cable from the single mom next door, told her he was sharing his signal because television is a better babysitter than boredom, and the local library is in a scary part of town? What if he was a stay-at-home dad with a home business reselling antique trinkets that he finds for a steal at estate sales because this job leaves him with more time for the kids and his revelations? What if he's a woman in a man's body? What if he'd already transitioned? What if he needs you to be her ally? Could your cross wear rainbow or boa? Could your cross divinely ungender bathroom signs? What if Jesus was just a child with a stutter, a pregnant teen? What if right before she could spread her message she was trafficked? Would you believe a child prostitute if she said the Messiah had returned? Or would that just be another trending fetish? What if she doesn't have a Twitter or a Facebook? What if she does? Would you follow her? Would you share her Tumblr revelations? Retweet 140-character gospels? Is this a gospel? Am I the return myself? How would you know? How would I?
All right.
Because I'm sometimes irreverent about faith, but totally turned up about faith, you know.
Of course.
We all have to write poems about, right? that interfaith shit. Okay, cool. Eric's actually one of the interfaith poets, so if you guys are curious about the project, especially after he performs, and you're like, gosh, these two humans sometimes write words that are neato. Interfaithpoets.org.
All right, neato words.
Cool. I'm going to perform one more poem, and then run away from this stage area. Can't run away from it. Well, I guess I can still run away from the stage, but not often. All right, cool. So recently I did a thing. I got a passport for the first time and went on tour to the UK. I then got confirmation that my love was real. I basically went on tour to fund my acquisition of love. Which sounds really awkward now that I say it out loud. That's fine. Love acquired. More like acknowledged than acquired. I didn't actually, you understand. I'm trusting that you understand. Really, I haven't gotten any acknowledgement whatsoever.
I did.
So I do the thing when I'm flying. So flight to me is like this really exciting thing. I have this like physiological and emotional experience such that I feel like it's the highest that I can feel like this physiological feeling that like love is, right? So it's like that stomach pressure or whatever. Maybe none of you, maybe you're all asleep before takeoff and land and like asleep during landing, but it's very exhilarating, very exciting. And while I was on this trip, my new boo and I went on a trip during that trip because my new boo went to Germany with me on part of my tour. Okay, cool. So, and then, we were like falling asleep on top of each other. It was very cute. We're flying, so it's not, sexual at all. Whatsoever. We're flying. We're in a plane. What can we do? So I wrote a poem. I often write poems while I'm flying. This is maybe painfully cute, more appropriate for here than the slam, or people will just make me feel better. Very cute. That's not true. Yeah, it's not true. It's points, right? It's silly. So right now it's titled Flight to Berlin from London. After. Rising away from London's roundabout swirling, from small runway, from underground switch overground, the gravity pulls at the in-between of the heart and stomach, sternum weighty like anticipation, like eardrums pressed into atmosphere, like wealth swell feeling for distantly admired soon beloveds, like beloveds now, arms weaved, heads nestled, draped upon each other. draped upon each other, folded against each other after the full night. Like the nights have been full up, like the flurry of samba dancing and the gentle tease of hips and feet still moving to rhythms that were a cab ride and 2 ginger beers ago while suitcases fill 4 a.m. This flight, getaway. This flight, moving place. This flight, make, lead, make, follow, rest, make, lead, make, follow, switch. This flight for lovers wanting to land into the other.
Woo!
Chicago National Slam 2018.
Well, it's just the National Poetry Slam that happens in.
They happen to be here, yeah, 2018. August 13 through 18. Check it out. Get your tickets.
It was here last in '99.
Nobody's talking to you, bro. Relax.
I've got the greatest annoying slam poem that's ever been written.
You are an annoying slam poem all on your own. And I know which one you're talking about. I heard it once or twice.
No.
Or 15 times. But we're not there, Vince. We're not there. One of the great things about being in a poetry reading, when you least expect something or someone, and they appear like a miracle. Our next poet to me is that. When he would show up at our old Weeks poetry venue and perform, I was aghast. I was in awe. Because he brought to the microphone a specific way of doing issue poetry that both made you laugh and made you squirm. And yet you knew what he was saying was true. I consider him a friend even though we don't hang out, we don't have beers, you know, I don't go to his parties. I never invite him to mine. Because he would just steal my fucking limelight. That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, all of us who are here this evening, it is a treat. It is a treat to listen to Eric Sirota. Put your together. Yeah! Big microphone.
No, it's great. Can't be too high for me. All right. Hi, everyone.
Hey.
I've lived in Champaign, Illinois for the last 4 years. So, oh, you went to UVI?
Yay!
Awesome,
Hey.
So ILL.
I hate it.
Cool. Okay. So I've been writing a lot, but I never get to perform it here, so it's fun to get to do new stuff. Also, I get to pretend that all the stuff I do is new stuff, even if it's been edited like a gazillion times because no one's heard it. All right.
Yeah.
Has anyone noticed? This is like. Does anyone listen to SoundCloud?
Yeah.
Woo! You guys, well, okay. If you guys have noticed this, I don't know.
What have I noticed?
Make a sound. On SoundCloud, in between songs by popular artists, there is a public service announcement urging listeners against chewing tobacco. Because everybody knows that those most likely to listen to SoundCloud are baseball players from the 1930s or soldiers in the World War II Navy. I know my grandpa, a veteran himself, would always say to me, Eric, it can get so lonely in the Pacific. Thank God Lil Yachty was there to keep me company. According to these commercials, if you chew tobacco, you will likely lose your jaw, which is a strange thing to picture every minute and 30 seconds. But I guess this is the good part of capitalism. Using paid advertising to convince Playboy Tardy fans not to chew their own faces into an ancient skull. I am listening to SoundCloud in my office because I am a legal aid foreclosure defense attorney. In other words, I sue banks for a living. It is the most benevolent of blood sports. This is the fun part of capitalism, getting paid to serve righteous vengeance in a briefcase. Mortgage banks are the bad part of capitalism, and that they're the first to buy hazard insurance on systems they build just to burn. But that's the American dream, ain't it? Having the right stake in everyone else's fire sale, allowing big tobacco to avoid prosecution by agreeing to sponsor their own anti-smoking ads. That's true. Studies show that any mention of a cigarette prompts smokers to crave a cigarette. So really, these SoundCloud ads are just prompting all the Depression-era farmers bumping Lil Uzi Vert to enjoy their jaw while it lasts. I guess what I mean is, regardless of who they're fucking, big business comes first, but the consumer gets the post-coital cigarettes. That's not a metaphor. Of course corporations can have sex. The Supreme Court says that corporations are people. But a person willing to do whatever it takes to enhance their own bottom line is considered a sociopath. But maybe that's too reductive. Maybe corporations are not sociopaths, but rather giants, subject to the breath of human folly, who never get put in time out and mistakenly think they are really good at math. In other words, mortgage banks are not evil geniuses, they're idiots. You'll chew your jaw off. Chase Bank will take my clients home, not because they are sadists, but because they keep mailing foreclosure avoidance solutions to the wrong address. You'll chew your jaw off. In multiple instances, mortgage banks have foreclosed on the wrong house. You'll chew your jaw off. Homeowners who cannot afford attorneys may never come to learn that they are losing their home because the 21-year-old handling their case lost his calculator and cannot do long division. You'll chew your jaw off. You'll chew your jaw off. You'll shoot your eye out. You'll cipher the American dream straight into your bloodstream until you transform into real estate and beg the rich to buy you. You'll Google yourself until your search history becomes your only songbook, and the only ones who can work and feel things that work out loud are these kids on the internet who can't really rap and can't really sing, but can chew their own mouths into the kind of robot that we can't help but follow because it's just the right genre of empty. This next poem, I write a lot of poems when I'm like sitting waiting for something.
Is it on SoundCloud?
I am on SoundCloud. I just came off an album. SoundCloud.com/MCRota, MCROTA. Check me out. I came out an album called YOLO, an album about death. All right. This poem is called Third Wave Ska is Dumb. The guy next to me at the bar keeps talking about how amazing this band is, but by amazing, I think he means it's cool that they can play instruments. This band is not amazing in the sense that Wonderwall is a hard song to fuck up, yet here we are. And don't get me wrong, I like a Bare Naked Ladies cover as much as the next guy, but it just feels like maybe they've already had their 15 minutes and it's time to pass the torch to Jason Mraz or Ed Sheeran or some newer, hipper embodiment of white mediocrity. Cynicism is funny, but it's a curse. Of course, it served an evolutionary function, as the caveman should not be too trusting of the tiger, no matter how adorable. But in the world we live in, it probably serves us better to like more things. For example, if I liked this terrible band, I would be having a better time at this terrible band's concert, and maybe not be so painfully aware that I have nothing to say to anyone here, and by here I mean anywhere outside of a confession booth. Needless to say, this ska cover of Piano Man is not very good. The tough thing about pulling off a ska cover is that ska is bad. But, based on the guy's reaction to the awesome reality that everyone in this band plays an instrument, you'd think they were not terrible and also not playing ska. The guy next to me is drunk, but I pretend he isn't because I want to believe that adulthood is more than having to get drunk to fall in love with the mediocre details of your day. Sure, it's easy to be awed by the Grand Canyon, or a solar eclipse, or a blowjob, but it's hard to love Muzak, or the sidewalk, or another person without a slight push from whiskey or religion's gentle bleeding palms. Some theologians say it is the same to love God as to fear God, so maybe all of this anxiety is a blessing because it means I encounter the universe with such a sense of awe I can't stomach it without pills. On the other hand, I think this band should maybe pick a new sport, while the man next to me is chanting along to a ska version of Tiny Dancer, like it's Kabbalic prayer or like a song that is good. It is dangerous to grow jealous of another's joy, as sabotaging it grows ever tempting, and envy is an unbecoming quality. It is better instead to try to find that joy yourself, so this time I ask the bartender to leave the whole bottle. So this moment, I feel like I would only read this poem at Weeds. So I think it's fun, people do a lot of you're so stupid, da 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 da, like mom jokes. So I made one about Christianity. This is called Christianity Diss Track, or Jewish Angst Poem, or a reflection on too many funerals. You're so Christian you eat everything bagels. You're so Christian you're good at sports. You're so Christian you have a shitty beard. You're so Christian you forgot Jesus wasn't. You're so Christian your name is Christian. You're so Christian the Mayflower. You're so Christian cucumber sandwich. You're so Christian sweater vest. You're so Christian you're from Maine. You're so Christian you want me to keep my voice down. You're so Christian you never told God no. You're so Christian you tried to save a wretch like me. You're so Christian you think heaven is a place. You're so Christian you pretend death isn't sad. How at Maggie's funeral, even though she was an avowed atheist, even though she died suddenly in a routine medical procedure, the liturgy is filled with praise hymns and descriptions of paradise, as if God is good today, as if God is here today, as if we don't need to mourn because we all see Maggie again. You're so Christian you can find hope here. Maybe I'm jealous you're so Christian you can find hope here. Us Jews are a dust-to-dust people. Maybe I'm jealous that you pray to a God who can make things rise.
Woo! Yeah!
So this one is also oh yeah, this is about waiting. This is also about sitting in a bar and waiting for a Tinder date.
Oh my god, that was awesome.
Waiting for my Tinder date at the Blind Pig Brewery has turned out to be an enjoyable experience because a man named Dustin with a southern accent just brought me a bullet whiskey after he failed to guess my name, like I'm some kind of alcoholic Rumpelstiltskin. And also, I think my Tinder date wants to have sex with me. I have deduced this because when I told her I was leaving town tomorrow, she said, let's get a drink. Sex makes me anxious. Not the act, but the aftermath. How the mind takes over, regrets having given the body all it really wants, prays that no dissonance grew between you overnight, that you both want to see each other soon or never again, that you both want to be friends who do or don't wind up inside of each other on nights when the empty side of the bed feels like the space between planets, but you know that the odds of two minds aligning are about the same as a particle sitting still when you ask where it's at right now, in the sense that it's staying in the same place would uproot physics entirely. So in that sense, I kind of hope I am being catfished, or that she fell down a benevolent manhole that leads her back to her own bed, far away from guys like me who seem nice because we are nice until we run away like the bedroom is a crowded theater and our pillow talk is just screaming fire, until survival and leaving become the same frantic universe, and loving and coming and night terror become the same sleepless tremble that can only burden the kind of people we love or fuck or are terrified by. And the next morning, I wake up on the couch with season 6 of something British streaming on Hulu, calmed by the humble relief of being alone.
You're so
All right, I'll do one I remember. It's also, this is like the sitting in a bar waiting series of poems. This is written at this, well, it at least takes place at the same bar in the poem as one of the others. So I was sitting in a bar with a friend and her friend, and then her friend got really drunk and like decided she hated me and wouldn't let me talk. So I wrote this poem. This is
You haven't written a poem in your life.
He wrote several. Don't worry, that's what Vince is for.
Not even close yet.
We keep him around. He's like, you know in Star Wars when Luke's got to practice with that training droid? Vince is the training droid.
I'm not insulted, don't worry.
Do you have your lightsaber?
I don't even know what that's a metaphor for anymore.
Throw it down, Larry.
Okay,
Throw it down.
this is called A Poem Written in Real Time. Real Dime. There, is it a poem now? This is called...
Not unless you continue to rhyme.
This is called A Poem Written in Real Time while being shut out of conversation by a friend of a friend at the Blind Pig Brewery. Oh yeah, right.
I know that.
My friend Megan is sitting next to me at the bar. My friend Megan's friend Lauren is sitting next to her. Megan and I are talking about wealth redistribution or something. Lauren, on the other hand, is wasted. At first she was only like Robert Downey Jr. wasted, but now she's more like Lou Reed wasted. When Lauren was only like Piano Man wasted, she thought it was pretty funny. But now that she's like Sweet Caroline wasted, she does not like me anymore. I know because she keeps telling me. For example, she just said, Eric, I do not like you anymore. I do not like you because of the things you say, and I tell her I feel the same way, and she doesn't realize that I'm talking about myself, so she calls me an asshole. Which is fair. I did just come out against polar bears in an argument. I'm not saying we shouldn't try to save them, but they are mean and will eat us. In the time it takes my mind to wander back from my ambivalent feelings about polar bears, Lauren has crowded me out of the conversation entirely, pointing at me 3 times in 45 seconds, saying, this guy. Not a fan. So now I'm almost entirely devoted to eavesdropping on the couple 3 stools to my left who either just broke up or just met. But then I hear Lauren talking about wanting to kill herself or Macklemore winning a Grammy or something depressing like that, and we make eye contact briefly, and it's the type that scares me because suddenly I can see so much of myself in someone who was just talking about death like a friend. But the moment breaks when Lauren looks at me and mouths, this fucking guy, and now I'm back to making eye contact with no one, eavesdropping on 1 conversation per ear. I try not to pay too much attention to Lauren because she is exhausted by life, and if I ever look at her again, I might never look away because how can someone as myopic as I am ever turn away from introspection disguised as a stranger? But now, the couple to my left are just sitting there like idling trains, so I decide I will look nowhere and that it is Halloween and that I will be a broken periscope again. But then, I hear Lauren talking about scar tissue, and I don't know if she means the Red Hot Chili Pepper song, or the type of skin that grows when you get singed so deep that normal skin won't cut it, and UV rays can't get past the scab, but doctors say it's part of healing. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah! Rockta!
Thank you for being here, ladies and gentlemen. We're here every Monday night. Let's give it up for Eric and all our poets this evening.
Thank you.
Hey. Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.